Good afternoon, my stitching sisters. It's Sylvia with Running with Needles and Scissors, and it is November 1st, about 3:15 in the afternoon here. It's a little dark and yeah, it's really overcast and rainy out, and I'm not feeling all that great, so I'll probably just do hopefully a very short video, or shorter than normal. So this is a YouTube channel about stitching, mostly a little bit of knitting, sometimes on the very rare occasion some quilting, because I don't seem to have time for that. So it's been a hot minute. I'm looking down at Millie. She is deciding where she wants to join me on the sofa or not. I've got Mia right next to me. She's always right next to me, right? Hello. She jumped up right away when I sat down. My husband just came in the house. He'll probably burst into the living room. Maybe not. We'll see. Anyways, okay, Mia, come here. Millie, come here. No, she's like, don't touch me. She's half a dachshund. And oh my gosh, do they ever have a mind of their own? It's just, oh, she's a handful. Anyways, so what I thought I would do today is not necessarily a lot of stash showing. I did get quite a bit in, but it's more about the bags today. So we'll have that later in this recording. Where do I start? Well, I've done quite a bit of FFOing. Let's start with the one I got done a while back. I had to redo it to the top because the top was cattywampus. So this is my finish of Nest. This is the fabric I picked, and this is actually a little wooden scissor stork that I picked up in France at one of the shows a long time ago. The first time around, you can see it's still a little bumpy, lumpy, but you know what? I'm happy with it. And this is stuffed with wool batting. So I just rolled the wool batting really tight and kept rolling, and you know, I'd try it out, I'd put it in there, and finally, until it was pretty snug in there, that's when I said, okay, that's enough. And then I put a little bit more on top, and here there is just regular batting on top, and I have a cardboard on both the top and bottom. There's a little bit of cardboard. Ooh, okay, there's stuff there. Anyway, so I am super pleased with the way, for my first self-finished drum, I am really, really happy about it. So I'll call my finishing, you know, the cattywampus Sylvia edition. So this is not the Fabulous Joy or Vana or anybody else. I also did not follow a tutorial because that's how I am. I could look at a tutorial and I might. I have followed some of Vana's tutorials, but I'm usually like, I lay in bed and figure things out in my head, and I'm like, okay, I think I'm going to do it this way. Not always the best way. So my plan for this is, I've got this bird's nest here that I found this year in the woods. So it looks rather rusty, but look how cool on the inside. So what a mess that was. So I'm walking along one of my trails. It was one of my favorite running trails. And I was walking and not running. And I looked to the side, and there's this nest that has fallen out of the tree. And it was a little bit greener at the time, and you know, more like that. And I might find some moss and actually moss it up a little bit. So I pick it up, and Millie and Mia are like doing the zoomies. They're running for all they're worth. Well, Millie sees that I've picked something up, and she's one that thinks, well, hello, puppet. Okay, she's back. Not quite sure if she's gonna, all right, you wanna come up here? No, okay. So Millie sees it, and in her mind, anything that I pick up is for her to retrieve, so I'm supposed to throw it, and she barks like mad. Mia is standing a little further away, and she's standing on 3 legs, and I'm like, oh, you know what happened? So she's limping really badly. She must have just pulled something. I think I'm gonna see if I can snag her. No, she jumps back when I offer to pick her up. Do you want to jump up? Oh my goodness. All right, girlfriend, I'm gonna clear a space for you. All right, you think you can come? Here, look. This is plenty big for you. Come on, come on. Yeah, all right. A little hop on the floor. That's not gonna do it. She has this thing where she thinks she can't jump on something, but she can. So sometimes it's like she has to back up, turn around, and then take a running start, or she'll just pop right up, or she'll stand down there and she'll be like that, because she wants me to pick her up, but she doesn't want me to pick her up. I can't figure it. Do you want to come up here? Yeah, come here. Come on, come on, come on. I'm just gonna ignore her if I can. So Mia has injured herself. She probably, strained a muscle or joint or something because she was running like crazy. Millie is barking her head off because she's like, throw that nest. And I'm like, this is not for you and I'm not throwing it. So I get over to Mia and I pick her up. And even though she's little, it's still 3 kilometers to get home. And so I'm picking her up, trying to hold the nest. I've got her in my arms. I'm trying to hold the nest. And I've got this dog who's losing its mind next to me, barking like crazy for 2 kilometers. I mean, she won't stop. She's like, throw the nest. Throw. I'm like, no. And I keep telling her to stop, but oh, no. You hear her. She's asking. She's, come here. Come on, up. Yeah, you can do it. Come on. Hop up. She's doing this on the ground. All right. Anyway, so that was quite an adventure getting this home. Now what I thought, so I have this nest and I also have this little pedestal. So I thought I would put this nest on the pedestal. Now the drum kind of goes in too far. So I'm going to have to fluff and stuff the nest so that it's kind of sitting in it like that. I don't know. What do you guys think? Should I do that? The other thing that I was maybe planning for the nest was to put one of the Stacy Nash birds that she's got, like, well, the chicken I wouldn't put in the nest, but there's also, I think, a sparrow, the animal crackers she's got. And yeah, so I'm not quite sure what I'll do, but anyway, so that's one of the things. Then I finished my red Santa from Birds of the Feather. That was one of my mania starts, and I've FFO'd it completely like this. It's stuffed with walnut shells, and this is the back. So I put it on an angle because straight it was boring. She's crying. Come on. Get up here. Come on, you can do it. Come on, hop. She's gonna bug the living daylights out of me. I simultaneously FFO'd then the green Santa too, so that I would have him for this year. Same fabric. I'll do all of them with the same fabric in the back and walnut shell stuffed. So I am really very happy with my 2 Santas. All right, so that was one. Then I have a few things that are going to be leaving the house. One of my friends had a birthday and I made this for her. So this is stitched over 56 count on Kingston linen. And then I just finished it up like that. I thought of putting, a little bit of trim around it, but it was getting too busy, especially with the hangers. So I left it as is. This is done on the sticky board, the acid-free sticky board. And the way I do it, and this is the back, I just put some paper, scrapbooking paper on the back. So the way I do it is, actually this is the non-sticky side. And I use the back to secure the fabric, the sticky side. So I pin it and get it all straight as cattywampus Sylvia can get it. And then I, let's see if this is straight. I'm gonna line it up. Yeah, it's straight. Okay, good. And then, so it's pinned, and that way I can pull the fabric really taut without, it sticking in the front. So I can position it better. And that's just what I do. And then, I cover up actually it's pretty clean on the back too. But so there's that. That's getting in the mail. And this other one that you've already seen me, that I finished it, but I FFO'd it. So this is a token for my friend, which is also going to a friend. So I finished it this way. And this is stuffed with shavings, wood shavings. And this was actually, they're logging right now, a tremendous amount in the woods. It's actually, they block off certain areas where you're forbidden to go through because, you know, it's like in what is it called? Danger of your life, you know, you may not enter. It's like, ooh, okay. On the weekends, though, I ignore it and I go because they're not logging. She's crying down there. Anyway, so I collected, when they then pile up all the logs. Well, then get up here. No. Oh, all right. They then straighten out the ends so that it's an even pile, and so then afterwards they grab them and put them on trucks. But anyway, so there's a lot of wood shavings laying around. So I went and collected some while it was dry, and dried it out some more in my atrium out there, and then used that to fill it. So this is genuine Kalkheimer woods shavings are in there. And the way I actually do a lot of my finishing in the back to stuff it, I sew a seam, you know, wherever. It doesn't matter where you sew the seam. So I cut my fabric and then I sew it back together and I leave a gap and I stuff it and then I sew this together. So instead of cutting it and then covering up. So I like that sometimes a little bit better. So there's that. That is it on the FFOing and finishing. The other thing I was working on just in the last couple days is I've knit some wash mitts, and these are knit out of hemp yarn, so they've got a little bit more of exfoliating quality. I'm making these for my kids for Christmas, and there will be a nice soap individually picked for each child. This one's lavender oatmeal. This will go to my oldest daughter. So, and the way I do it at home is I have my soap in here and it hangs. So I crocheted a hanger. So it just hangs there in the shower, and the soap will dry out again and it won't leave all its soap scum everywhere. And so I just use that. I scrub myself, and once the soap is, you know, and rinse it out then after I'm done. And once the soap is gone, I will wash it and then reuse it with my next soap. And so my plan for my children this year is to make an advent calendar. And I found at Aldi, the German Aldi really has some fun things that come and go. And so they had these kits. So it's individual bags, and you know, and so these are all the parts that you have to paste on. So it's going to be a little bit. Could you stop? Enough. Then come up here. So here's another one. This is for one of the girls. So I'm planning just to fill these with various things, not just candy. This traditional lip balm has to go in, and we found this, I talked about it a couple times ago when we were on vacation in September. My husband discovered this amazing coffee roastery, is that what it's called in English? And so they have really, really amazing coffee and espresso that they roast. And so the boys really like coffee. So I thought, you know, in one of the bags, for each, I would put a bag of quite pricey coffee beans. Anyways, so that's that. In Germany, Advent calendars, let's say, I mean, we've been doing them for probably, I don't know, 150 years, I don't know, for a long time. It's tradition here, and it's a big deal. We also have on December 6th, St. Nicholas comes, St. Nick. So not on Christmas, but he comes on December 6th. And the tradition is to put out one of your shoes or boots. Kids prefer boots because you can get more in the boot. And St. Nick comes around and he fills it up with all kinds of goodies. And I thought I'd show you some of the goodies that I'm going to put in my kids' advent calendar. And the December 6th bag will be substantial for them. They used to love that. I used to do that in the States, you know, and you could tell them 10 times to please empty out the dishwasher or pick up their rooms or don't forget to do this, but They always remembered on the night of the 5th of December, man, they had their boots out there in front of their bedrooms. So, and if they were good, of course, Saint Nick would fill up their boot or their shoe. And if they were bad, he had a little companion who came with him, and his name is Knecht Ruprecht, and he carried the coal. And if you were bad, all you got was a lump of coal. And although I was tempted sometimes to do that, I never did. So some of the traditional things that are eaten I just brought two. There's plenty of traditional things we eat for Christmas or during the Christmas and Advent time. Germany is the land of marzipan, and I am myself a big fan of marzipan. If you don't know what it is ground almonds. They're ground really fine into sort of a paste, and then flavored with sugar and rose water. And really good marzipan is a delight. We have cakes with marzipan. We have marzipan confectionery. We have breakfast foods with marzipan that you buy at the bakery, etc., etc. So we love marzipan all year long, but the peak time is definitely Christmas time. So one of the things all my kids really love, and I too myself, are marzipan potatoes. So these are little balls of marzipan, and they're coated in a little bit of chocolate. And so that makes them look like potatoes. And so each child is going to get one of these bags at one point on one day. The other thing we really like to eat is marzipan bread. And there's no bread in it. There's no wheat in it. It's just marzipan encased in chocolate to make it look like, loaves of bread. So I bought the miniature version. You can get them in all sizes. I mean, up to like a kilo, it's a big old thing. But I thought these would be nicer to pop into the bags. One of the things, just little, you have that in the States too, little chocolates wrapped up. These are little bears, little teddy bears. And the other thing my kids absolutely love, and the U.S. isn't too familiar with it, and this is not a Christmas thing, but they're individually wrapped, so they're good. It's called, this one is from Aldi. It's actually a very good substitute, but the original is called Kinderschokolade, so children's chocolate. I'm so sorry. And I've got a dry mouth and a dry throat. All right. So, and the children's chocolate is sort of the selling point is that there's milk in it. It's not liquid milk. It's like a milk paste. Delicious, honestly. So this was always like, if your kid, when I was growing up, it was like, if your kid doesn't like milk, you can get milk into them, because you know how important milk was when we were growing up. So my kids all love that, and they'll be getting some of those. And there's other things I'm going to look for and stick in there. So that will take, to make all these bags, there's 24 bags for each child, and you have to actually, decorate them and put string on them and eyes, and so, it's gonna take me. I'm planning to have that out by November 15th, so it gets there for December 1st. And of course, I think this year I've really made an effort to do this like that, because I haven't seen my kids in a year and a half now. And yeah, probably not gonna be anytime soon either. All right, so that is that. Now, the bag edition. So I was gonna talk about some of the bags. You all know that my plan is to sew some bags for various charities that I support or work for. I work for Open Doors, which supports persecuted Christians in the countries that are persecuted right now, and things are dire. So I know that some people said, hey, I haven't heard of it, the hunger in Africa or even Central Asia, people, it's pretty bad. The problem is, if you can't work and can't have income, these countries don't have a social system that'll catch you. So, and some of the countries do provide some aid, emergency aid, from the government, but Christians are excluded, so they just don't get any. So a lot of our focus has been on emergency aid, not all, but quite a bit, which has made a mess of my job, because I'm one of the things I do for this organization is I keep track of the projects and what development base, that means what fundraising arm is supporting various projects. That some of the in some countries it's highly regulated, and we need to provide a lot of documentation, and so I have a narrow variety that I can give them because we need good documentation on it. And there are countries where it's too dangerous to write good documentation. So, I can't give them any projects in that. Well, if things have switched over to emergency aid, then some of the projects that they've been supporting, the money has gone over to emergency aid. And depending on if the field staff will provide a report on it, I can switch them over to that. But if not, then, I have to go digging and make sure I have enough projects for them that are reportable. And so it's been just a lot of work kind of tracking that. And things from the field change constantly. So once I get through and I think I'm done, then more bad news. And I'm like, oh, and I have to start over. But it's been keeping me quite busy. And oftentimes I'm not even done. I leave my office fairly late, 7:30 at night, and been pretty wiped out, which of course has taken a toll on my stitching. But I have gone on, and what I'm stitching on I do enjoy, so I'll show you my whips right now, and then we'll go to the bags. Let me sort through. Okay, so the major one I've been working on that's gotten a lot of my attention is the Women of the Mayflower. So here it is. I had incredibly rough sailing for a while. Just one mistake after another, and I don't know what was going on, but I evidently had a barrel full of frogs on my ship, and they were just wreaking havoc, and I had to frog all this up here because it just wasn't, this wasn't filled out, but filled in, but I had the outline in. But anyway, so I probably lost about a week and a half of work. Don't ask me what was going on. Anyways, so this is where we're at right now. This is stitched on dirty linen, 40 count, Zweigart. And I got, anyways, my needle is sticking in there. Oh, let's see if we can do a better job. No, let's not fold it. All right, I have to practice this over the head so I can see what I'm doing. Anyway, so I have arrived at the bottom. So it looks like it'll be an on-time arrival for my Mayflower with my women. The turkey tail still, I'm thinking of Thanksgiving. All right, the peacock tail still needs to be done, the specialty stitches there, but, and then I just need to fill in the names. Now, if you guys watch Cozy Egg, Michelle, and if you guys have stitched the other Mayflower piece by Brenda Gervais, you will notice that there are not the right amount of women listed. And so I thought it was Remember, and then Allerton, Sarah, Eaton, Denise. I'm like, why did she do all the names backwards? Well, upon talking with Michelle, she goes, yeah, there was a Remember Allerton. I was like, okay, that's weird, but whatever. When I was reading up on the women, there were 2 Mary Allertons. And I wasn't going to, in my opinion, the names were backwards, but of course, when you look at the spacing, they're not, they're right. So I am going to start with Sarah Eaton because I put her first name in there anyways, and then just work my way down. Mary Allerton will be down here somewhere. Now, the Susanna White Winslow, oh, where is, reading, I have no idea. Anyways, she didn't remarry until a year or two after they landed. So I'm just gonna keep her at the name when she sailed, and not her name at her death. And there are some missing. So I don't know what I'll do with it. I might just stitch it as is. I probably will, as a matter of fact, and then put the full list on the back. So we are nearing a finish. And this is, I'll show it again. This is done with the, oh, it's a mess with the threads hanging all over. Okay, there we go. So it's done with the called for willow. What are they? Hold on, gotta pull them out. Old willow stitchery. So there are my unruly, as always, threads. And what I did though is I substituted, this is a Victorian motto for, where is the original boat color? Okay, so this is the color that's called for on the ship, and this is the color I used because, yeah, I wasn't gonna sail with the terracotta colored ship. Anyway, so, and I have this pretty thread keep from Becky's Socks for Mom. There. Okay, so that's that. It's in a El Cheapo. I found these on Amazon when I was looking for bags, and I thought they were pretty cute. Other people have shown them. I got them from Amazon Germany. They're just like a paper fabric envelope, and they're $2 or something like that. And so for, if you're in a pinch, that works. The other thing that I started kind of to be part of the Great Pumpkin Sal, hopla. Okay, so, and these are the threads with my fun pumpkin. I think this is Ziggy's Closet. I'm not sure. This is, I didn't get very far. Olga's Autumn Stocking. I'm down here, down here. I decided I would start down here and work my way up so that I would be sure to fit on the fabric and not accidentally come down there and be, you know, off. So not much to show. I'm using 40 count sand by Picture This Plus, and there is my very small start. You can see the white is not showing up all that great. I'm okay with that. It'll, once the other thing comes in, it'll look fine. Other colors. The other thing I started, and well, that's why my start there is so pathetic, is, whew, this is a mess. Anyways, Ghoul Tide, welcome. I just call it Tide. And these, I picked my own colors, so I used the DMC conversion to convert to hand-dyed fibers. And this mess of bags is because I'm using spools, a lot of them. And then I have just a few that are on tags. Turn it around so you can actually see the cute little tag, little bear on there. Oh, another bear. Let's see what else is on this. A fox. All right. Okay, so I was just so happy to be stitching on this. And I'm stitching this on 40 count gray sand by XJU Design or XJU Design. And I showed this piece of fabric already. And then I knew immediately when I saw it, I'm like, I am going to use this for Ghoul Tide. So this is as far as I got. I worked about, 3 weeks, not, I was focused a little bit on Mayflower, so it didn't get the full attention, but this is as far as I got. Now I will put it away because October is over, and we'll start, I'll go back to 30 Days Have November because it's November, and I already picked the new, one of the things I want to start this month. My plan is to start a new sampler a month because my So looking at all this stash and showing you guys all these samplers, etc., and a lot of them are kitted, almost ready to go, I felt like, man, I have so many pretty things. And I'm a slow stitcher. And so I was like, well, you know what I'm going to do? I'm just going to start one every month, whatever I feel like. And, if the mood strikes, I'll pull it back out. The rest of the month, 3 weeks, I'll be working on whatever, a focus piece. I'll focus on something else. But I just really wanted to put some color on my extensive linen stash and, use it. And I'll probably die with many, many unfinished whips. And I'm sure they'll find a good home when it comes to that. So anyways, so that prompted Ghoul Tide, which I really, really love. I'm so incredibly happy with the colors and how that's turning out. This will come out on, I think Michelle does the dark 13 stitching. So on the 13th of every month, and a lot of them are Saturdays and Sundays, which is exciting because I tend to get more done. I will be having this out. This is in a bag made by a dear friend a long time ago. It's really pretty fabric with a little bit of gold shimmer in it. So let me flip it around and see it. Love that. And there's a front pocket behind the mesh. So these two are living quite snugly in this bag. Then, and then one more. My morning stitches are usually dedicated to my mania starts. And since Christmas is nearing, I got that Santa done. And now I'm working on, where is my picture of this? Oh, here. I'm working on the Blackbird Noel stocking. So I am here. Made a little bit of progress from the last time. Last time there were none of these little brownish leaves. I did have the stem all done, this stem, but then I added the leaves. I finished this and I've added the flower here. I've added the basket. So I'm coming along. This is on my absolute favorite 40 count. They've discontinued it with Zweigart sand. I don't know why, it's perfect. And I have tea and coffee dyed it, so you can see sort of what it looks like. And it's a piece I'm just gonna use up. It's awkward now, but I'll definitely find things to stitch on it. So that's just my morning relaxing stitch. I'm listening to The Bible in a Year. It's an audio version with Nicky Gumbel. He is the author of the Alpha Course, which is big over here in Europe, and he's out of Great Britain. And so he does a commentary, which I really like. So there's a commentary, and then the Bible verses are read, and it just helps me understand the Bible a little bit more. And I listen to it and stitch at the same time in the mornings. I've done my own Bible reading and study prior to that, so that's how I finish up my morning time. All right, I think that's that. We're on to the bags. So I've been busily sewing bags for myself and to use as for the fundraiser. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually make a Instagram page called Hedgehog Bags. There's a number of reasons I picked hedgehog, but primarily because I actually love hedgehogs. So that's what they'll be called. Again, they'll be going everything I make on it outside of the shipping, which is included in the price. So I will pay that and take that off the what you guys paid, and everything else just goes to the charity. Like I said, I work for Open Doors, and sometimes it'll go there. It'll also go to Heaven's Pearls. It's in German, it's Himmelsperlen, and this is an ex-Open Door lady. She retired, and then God has called her to do just amazing work in Syria and Iraq and Pakistan. She does medical outreaches and supports a school. She founded a school and supports a school over in Pakistan. So every once in a while the money will go there. And the last money went to the Pearls of Heaven. And the last one is called Answer International. They are part of a church in Texas called Open Door Church, and they rescue children out of sexual slavery, and they rescue them internationally and nationally. And I think it's just an incredibly worthwhile organization. And they also then take care of them. So they get them all the help they need. If they come with babies of their own, you know, they help them provide for their babies. They give them schooling, etc. So it's not just rescuing them, but as Pastor Troy calls it, they're rescued in every way a person can be rescued. So I really like to support them as well. So I'm just going to show you. They're not completely done. I still need to put the buttons on the right here. It's going to have a little. So here you see the inside. I'm not going to show you each one of them, but I'll just flash them up. And I will post on my Instagram when I am finished. So it's kind of oh, you can't even see it. Anyway, so it's kind of a metal button that echoes the theme here. This is a sturdier fabric. This is a cotton, but sturdier. So this I got from the Zweigart factory. And I really love the deer. And so I was able to use this fabric two ways, one side or the other. And so you see one's lighter, one's darker, and that's what I just did a couple. This one has like a cross stitch fabric on the inside. Then I made more of the French General bags. One is brown, one is, and this is the ribbon that will go on this one as well. So it's a Bonjour Paris ribbon with also some decorative button that's in there. So, oh, I better put this one back in so that when I go to sewing, which I might do today. And the blue bag, another, and then one more of these bags. And this one turned out quite nice, I must say. So, and the button sort of reflects it's a little bit purplish, but it sort of reflects, I just felt it kind of went with the whole thing. And the inside is like that. Anyway, so this is really upholstery fabric. It's a hefty bag. Then, well, I keep all the misfits, and there's plenty of them when I sew. So this one, I'm sure you can figure out what went wrong with this. In Dido, it is upside down. So I was like, oh, and they're right side up on the back. So I was like, well, that's my bag. What did I put in this? And I put just a little burlap rosette. I love the inside fabric though. Oh, it's Mary Betchel from Scarlet House. It's all kitted up with silks. And when I feel like it, I have fabric upstairs that I actually cut for it. It just needs to be seamed, or not seamed, but serged around the edges so it doesn't fall apart on me. And when I feel like it, I will pull it out and give it a week's love and see where I end up. And the other one, is this the one? Yeah. So even though this was sewn correctly, it just ended up that most of the reindeer heads were upside down. This one's right side up, and I felt like, oh, I'm not going to sell this one because so many are upside down. And this is what it'll look like. So I just put like a little watch, not a button, but I found a watch that, I think this is a different ribbon from the others. I didn't have enough of the other, which I really loved. Oh, here. Yeah, it is a different ribbon. So I just felt this one really went well with this fabric, but because it's mine, it'll look different. There she is again, crying. Okay, and in here, oh, I put Sarah Casey Unwin with fabric and all the flosses I felt would be good with that. And this one is loose. And this is Esther Idison. 1832. And Saltbox Stitcher finished that recently, and I was like, all right, that's it. I'm kitting this up, and I will start it when the mood strikes. Right now, the mood is not to start a big sampler because I have so many. And I've picked color and cotton pearwood for this. Oh, it looks way pinker than it. It's not anywhere near this pink. And in it is my fabulous, so this is all hand-dyed fibers because that's what I stitch with. So, but once it's ready, once I have really gotten it on a floss ring and etc., ready to go, I will, of course, when I start it, I will show it. So that's what's in the bags. Then, okay, these bags will go, and I should be able to get these up probably this week or next week, all these bags. Like I said, hedgehog fibers. I will have them posted on that Instagram account, but I will announce it on my regular Instagram account, which is HurryMom26. I'll put everything down in the comments. Okay, there's some thread. All right, we'll move these over here. Then I also sewed a bag for a friend of mine, Black Betty, also known as Lisa. Lisa said I could name her, and her name is Lisa. So when I mention Lisa, it means Black Betty, my twin, my alter ego, I just love her so much. She is so much fun. I'm so glad I've gotten to know her better during this time. Anyway, so she said something like she really liked this fabric. This is not what I sent her. Hers is a little bit better in terms of the centering of the fabric, but in order to use a good deal of it, this is how it went. I hate wasting fabric, so. And then this was the inside, so I thought in order for us to see both portions of it, I would flip it on the top and use the inside on the outside. And then this is the fabric that I used on the inside and what's tucked in here. Found another thing. It's the Ann Nelson sampler by Threads Through Time, which is out of print. And it was a kit, and it comes with actually wool. And I thought that was so cool. Now I did take, I had the worst time finding some fabric because I was down to 32 count or 28 count. I think I went with 28 count, but, oh, this is the Gander linen. So this is the French linen. And I've written something on there, but so sometimes I just make a note in the selvage. But anyway, so I decided I would test it out, but I think, let me look at this. Okay, so it's like this. So it's the long way is the top. So I just decided, let me see what it looks like on this linen. I like it. I think I might hand stain it when it's done to age it a little bit, with a brush. I think that would be good fun. So I just wanted to see if the fabric was to my liking, and it is. So, and it's good that it's in this really tall bag because, yeah. Anyway, so that was one for me. I'll go over here. Then it was Michelle's birthday in August, but she got her, oh, I think it was beginning of October, mid-October. I think I got her birthday present. And I made her a bag out of some long, extinct, no longer available Tula pink fabric. I had a jelly roll. Is that what it's called? Honey bun. It was a honey bun because they're short strips. So I sewed the strips together. This is the back of the bag. And don't quote me, I think this is Neptune, but if you watch her video, she will tell you because she knows these kinds of things and I don't pay that much attention. And then for the front, I used some ribbon, some Tula pink ribbon, wide ribbon, because I thought it was really cool. Hers has seashell, mine has the octopus. And I have one more. When I sewed these little strips together, they're 2.5 inch strips, I believe. No, 1.5 inch, I think, because what you have here is 1 inch. So I just sewed the length of the strip, and so I have enough to make one more bag, and the ribbon I have for that are seahorses. And I'm kind of torn because I'm like, well, do I So finish it. It's not finished. Do I finish it and keep it for myself? Because then I have 2 of these bags. Because they were a labor of love. And the edges, hers turned out much better in terms of getting the corners right. I always sew mine first because that's when I do all my learning. So do I keep it? Do I finish it and keep it for myself, or, you know, save it as a present for whom? I don't know. I mean, you know, whatever. So I made these zipper pulls out of some of my beads and things that I have flying around. And I also had and one is for the other bag. So I just put it on this bag for now. And then I do have a seahorse charm that will go on there. And this one, my gosh, is can we see it? No, not so, okay. There we go. Hold on. It's an octopus. So it goes with and it's a backwards octopus. I can feel it. All right, here we go. There we go. No, it's front right side. So it goes with the ribbon. Okay, so that was another bag for me. Oh, and you can see I have Paradise Lost in this one. And I'll probably start making some vinyl front bags as well, you know, in the new millennium. So this one, it was funny. So I was at a show in France, and this one shop, so lots of shops come to these cross-stitch or handwork shows, and, you know, they bring models and packets and kits and whatnot. And so this one shop had just a ton of over one. And, you know, you see it over one, it's like, I don't want it any other way. It would look so good. They had Paradise Lost over one. They had a bunch of the Cedar Hill monthly bouquets over one, which of course I'm planning to do just like that. So I totally freaked out, and I'm like, I'm gonna stitch mine over one. And recently I looked at the pattern in depth, because when you know, Paulette is sneaky. She puts some over one in her patterns, and that doesn't work over one. So I was like, oh my gosh, let me make sure that there isn't a ton of over one. And there is not. There's only one thing. Let's see if I can find him. He is a little birdie in the tree. He's hiding in the tree, and so I don't think it's all that important if I can't even find him. I think he's, you won't be able to see it. Forget it. He's right in there somewhere. So I was like, I can skip over that. And so I was super motivated when I came back from France. I was like, I'm starting this, which I did. Now hold on to your pants, because this is going to look fabulous, and you'll be like, I'm going to stitch it over one as well. There it is. It's just a couple stitches of the grass. I was like, I'm done. But I am planning to maybe, you know, do a week's worth on that. And here are the silks that I pulled for it. And these are all hand-dyed fiber silks. There's one trying to ruin the beauty of this. There we go. Anyways, so there you see it. And this is a 35 count. Oh, this is backwards. I really think it's an R&R, where you can't see any of the distressing, because that's what happens sometimes is with the coffee tea dye. Sometimes it just goes away if you don't bake it or whatever. So it's plain, and I have the Velcro up here. That's for over one. I need it on well, it's only over here, so I need to mount it on the bottom, and then, yep, I need to put some on the bottom, and then I can put it in the scroll rods. All right, so that's my fantastic, very motivating start on Paradise Lost. But I love this one. And Adele from Smurfette Stitches on Instagram, she was working on it for a while and made some good progress. And hers looks so good. Okay, so the deal with this bag is you have to kind of pull the zipper over it. the ribbon. Then I made another bag. I made one this way. And it's not it was sort of cobbled together because I had made this many, many moons ago. And I was gonna make a little like tiny quilt for tabletop. And then I never got around to putting the binding on. So this is what it looks like in the back because using it this way was way too big. So I just made do and plucked some of the fabric I used on the back of it and made the back and cover. So I don't care that it's not perfect. I mean, that it's got this thing happening in the back. It's the back. So, and then the zipper is sewn on top, which worked out perfectly. So there's that. There's nothing in this one yet because I just got it done. Then, okay, where are we at? Okay, I'm doing good. Then I bought a bag. I bought actually 2 bags from KathiesPosies. And what actually made me go there is I believe it was Laura and Brenda who are at fault at the state of my, I mean, the responsibility for my bank account and what it looks like. They've got a lot of responsibility there, but they showed these and I thought, how fantastic. And I thought this one was so cute. It's a sewing envelope and seriously, she sews the binding on by hand. No, that's not going to happen in my house. And it's like, it's got a felted page and then, oh, it's upside down. This one has little pockets and something for your needle and a little dangly. Let's flip it around so we can see what it is. It's a little flower. It's a little sunflower. But anyways, perfect for keeping your threads, just like a Bitsy Bob. So I bought this one and I bought this one, which I just love. This is the back. And this one's different on the inside. It's a little plainer. And her prices are so reasonable. They are so stinking reasonable. So there's no pockets here, but there's this little thing and a great little key. So they will be finding their homes in a project. And then I bought 2 bags. One bag, and I liken it to like, I always feel a little bit guilty because I sew my own bags. And so I'm like, should I buy a bag? Because I could sew it. And then I feel like, well, I cook well too. So, and sometimes we go out to eat, same difference. So I bought some bags. The second one is up in my office and I'm just not going up there right now, but I will show it next time. But this one, oh my gosh, I love it so much. So here's some vintage stitching that she sewed on. And the fabric, I mean, it's a pure delight. And I'm so glad I bought it. And there's a little chicken hanging off is it a chicken or a rooster? It's a rooster. A rooster as a zipper pull. And then the inside is just little beige flowers. And what did I put in here? Oh, my Frances Eden. There's Frances Eden. I think this is 46 count, but it is French linen. I need to go on their website and see what she's got because I used to hunt her down at the various French shows. She comes out of Normandy and she's got some fabulous linen. And this is natural, but I'm not quite sure what the count is. I'll have to figure out. I took the whole piece because it's big enough. But anyway, so this whole big piece was 10 euros. So I think it's cut differently than a fat quarter. But, and here's the selvage, so it's weird. Well, I mean, it's not weird, but it's different. But it feels fabulous. And I've stitched on her uneven weave linen, and it's nice. So the company's name is called Olin Dabitse. And her website is Boutique. No, this has got to be her. Okay, she doesn't have a website. Oh, yes, she does. It is right there. I had to look. www.lin-abc.com. I'll put it down in the, I don't even know if she's still in business because I haven't looked. But I will see, because this is really actually very nice linen. So I thought Frances Eden, just on a natural piece, would look really cool. The flosses are already in there, hand-dyed fiber silk, and I also have the floss ring that Becky Sucks for Mom made for this. Is this not fantastic? Somebody wants out of the living room and she's just gonna have to wait. It's the problem dog. All right, so that's what's in here. Anything else? Oh yeah, so what, I know, I am just, there we go, make it look nice. All right, so this made me think, buying this bag, of something I have of my great-grandmother's, who embroidered this tea towel on both sides. And I was like, okay, and then crocheted this lovely edging. And of course I don't use it because, you know, it's my great-grandmother's, and God, what if something happens to it? It does have, I mean, it does have a hole and another hole, but I thought, listen, what good is it in your drawer, you know, this sweet heirloom that I have. This was my great-grandmother in the US. And so I am going to make a bag out of it. Of course, now I don't want to cut any of it away. So it would be, I would use the half of it. It'll be a tall bag, but that's just what it is. And so I went upstairs, and I'm going to show the crocheted edging, except for up here, of course, it'll be attached to fabric. And I'll probably have a little bit of fabric on each side sticking out. And I'll mount it on that because it just needs some support and I want it to be well preserved. So I thought, I went looking, I know this looks a little bit wild, but I thought this for the outside and this for the inside, because there's so much blue in this. So I'll hold it up with the, I think it'll work really well. Whoopsie. So this is on the outside, and then this will be on the inside. So that's, I'm gonna work on that, but then I'll have two, because I have two sides. But I don't want to give it away or make it for somebody else to, you know, or sell it, because it's from my great-grandmother. And so I'll just have two bags, the same, or I'll find different fabric and do it with different fabric. So don't ask me what's going on out there. They're beating drums or something. Okay, so this is probably about the same length of every other video. Oh, and so it's November 1st. Today I'm not feeling that well I'm gonna work on Women of the Mayflower. I'm not up to starting a new one, but maybe tomorrow I feel better and I'll start this and give it 7 days of love. So Sally Spencer by Birds of the Feather. This is my working copy. And I have just fallen so in love with this sampler. And Olivia from Pumpkin Hollow Quilts last year, I'm a year and a half behind or something like that. No, yeah. Because they were starting it in the summer and now it's almost winter time a year later. But I'm still going to start it, and I'll see what the hashtag was and hashtag that, but I'll just work on it for a week. This is my linen. I believe it's the fabulous sand linen that Zweigart no longer makes. Makes me so sad. And it's coffee and tea dyed. I think I had a meter of it, and I just coffee tea dyed the whole thing. And my coffee tea dye stays, which is nice. Okay, so that concludes that. We are done. Guys, I hope you have a fabulous weekend, and I hope that you stay safe. I hope that you go vote, regardless of which side you're voting for. It's a democracy, and I work with so many countries where people don't have the right to vote, dictatorships and all kinds of other forms of government not for the people. So it's an incredible privilege to be able to vote, and I really feel strongly and encourage you to go exercise your constitutional right to go vote. I'm praying for the election. I'm praying for those involved in the election. I'm praying for the country, and I'm really, really praying hard that there will be peace and unity, and that we as a people, as Americans, can go forward. Anyways, I'll leave you with that. I love you all, and I bless you, and take good care. Stay happy, healthy, and terrific until I see you again. Bye.